Hi guys, a while back I showed you I bought these 3 solar rockers. I said I'd bought them simply to take them apart because I want the bits inside them. I really don't want to do it because they're fun, but I do need the bits now because I want to do something with that little fella in there. So we're going to have a look in one of these. Is that going to come out easily? Probably better to use a tool. Okay, so the standard layout, nothing special in there at all. Had quite a few discussions recently about getting the coil off the plastic base. If you're lucky and it is held in place with hot glue, then heating this up might release it. I've had a lot of bad luck doing that. Oh, another little thing, people look at these and they panic because they see extra wires. Oh, probably not zoomed in enough for you to see that. Right, they see a wire hanging out there and a wire hanging out there and think that there's broken wires. They're not broken wires. The coil, when they're soldering it onto the circuit board, they just bring the wire right the way across and solder it in the middle and then cut off or break off the excess. And they don't always break it off close to the board. So that's what that is. That's the excess after the coil is dragged across the board, soldered in place, and then that's just the excess hanging out. So those are spare. They're not going they're not going anywhere this way. They're still connected to the board the other way. I'll just lift that out of the way. You might be able to see the solder blob. Just there. Quite messy actually, that one. So, do I try and heat this up and get that one off? Or do I do what I've been doing recently, which is cutting all the way around it carefully? Not cutting the wires, obviously. Just cutting the plastic and leaving it in place on the plastic. I guess what I might do is try heating it and see if it will come off nicely. The worst thing that can happen is if it doesn't come off nicely, part of it stays stuck to the hot glue on the board, and as you lift it up, it all comes uncoiled. So that's why I don't do it if I can avoid it. But I'll go and heat this over a flame and see if it will drop off nicely. I'll just say, if it does drop off, literally fall, at the same time it might jerk enough to actually break the wire. So you need to support it at the same time. You don't want it to just fall freely. Well, I wish I'd filmed that, because you will see I've heated it enough to actually melt the plastic, and it's still, that's obviously hot, it still hasn't released the coil. I'm being very gentle because I don't want it to fall apart. It is coming off, but oh. It's so easy for that, just the last little bit to grip the wires. So it is not coming off cleanly. I think I might be all right. I might be able to get that last little bit off if I'm very careful. But yeah, you can see how hot I got it. And it didn't just fall off. Some of them are hot glued, some of them have got something else on them. Right, I did get it free in the end. But like I said, that wasn't ordinary hot glue. So it didn't just suddenly melt, even when I severely melted the plastic. It is still working though. Can I get him on top? I'm using that because it's easier to see the magnet than if I put that back over the top. Anyway, so we've taken it apart and we've pinched the coil out of it, and we did manage to do it with heat, but it didn't just drop off cleanly. Going back to what I said, I've taken to just cutting the whole piece of plastic out so we don't go through that heartache of worrying about whether we actually get wires stuck to the glue when we pull it apart. Now, the reason we were taking it apart was I want to make this into a, well, eventually a pulse motor, solar pulse motor. But short term, I bought this fella in Poundland, a little rocking gnome, and I was thinking of putting a magnet on his bottom there and seeing if we can get into rock using this. I might as well try and pinch the magnet off the bottom of this one and use that. Well, that's really not quite as much movement as I was hoping for. I think the main problem is this is not really an ideal free swing. It may look like it is, but it's not the same as the pivot points in one of these. Okay, so I couldn't leave it alone. A couple of bent paper clips for the swing linkages, or whatever you want to call them. A bit of artificial sun at the moment. There we go. That is about right. Don't want them to swing much more than that, because if we do put the top on it, which we can't at the moment because the solar panel's laying on the surface, but we wouldn't want him. Can we get it on there? Just about. It's nice the way the light reflects around and shines on his face. So yeah, that's all a bit temporary there. You see the solar panel's not even pointing up, so it's not getting the full benefit of the light. Got some sunshine shining through the window. Now he's going. That's better. Excellent. Thanks for watching. If you want more information, check down below in the video description. If you like this video, you might like this one up here. And if you want to subscribe, you can check out my channel over here. Up here is my latest video on my channel, and down here is a video playlist associated with the video you've just watched. Thanks again for watching.